Hi there, welcome to I Love Fly Tarot. I'm going to do a tarot card reading for Aries energy, and for this round, a 12 zodiac sign readings. I'm first getting some cards out of the Chakra Wisdom Oracle deck. So let's see what wants to come out of there and see how that might apply to the reading. Okay, insecurity reversed. Some people could feel that they could get rid of their insecurity by trying to be perfect. Like if they're perfect, that people won't view them as being insecure. But that's just like putting a band aid on the problem. And so then maybe with the perfection card, with holding the two, which one do I invest in within myself to be balanced? And it's not about trying to cover up our insecurity. We've all got some pride and ego and insecurity and selfishness and all that good stuff. But if we try to balance it out with doing the best we can, maybe in the sense of perfection, in that we offer love and compassion and kindness and forgiveness to ourselves so that we don't let our insecurity run our life, and maybe aligning with love was what we could view as perfection. That when we try to be compassionate and kind to ourselves, that's how we truly get over our insecurity and kind of accept that we are where we are. We've learned the lessons that we've learned. We're going to have more lessons to learn. And it's all about, I don't know, just trying to be in an energy of love is what helps us heal. And some people think, no, I need to present myself as perfect so people won't see that I'm insecure. So let's see what the tarot cards have to say. For this round, I'm using the Tarot of the 78 Doors. We have the Moon and the Queen of Pentacles because of the Four Cups. People can harness high vibe Aries energy or kind of low vibe or more worldly Aries energy, maybe not seeing life from a higher perspective. And the moon can talk about not seeing things clearly. And when we're living life from a more worldly perspective or fearful, insecure, immature, we've got lessons to learn about life. Some people could be under the illusion that they can just ignore love and focus on Queen of Pentacles, can be all focused emotionally on money and materialism, because the Four of Cups generally talks about ignoring love because relationships didn't work out in the past. They decide maybe to try to look perfect in the world. I'll have status and image. I won't make my life about love because I don't want people to see that I have fears and insecurities to deal with. So I'll just ignore love and I'll create the illusion that I'm nurturing and stable emotionally, but really I ignore love. And if anybody who harnesses high vibe energy have dealt with people like that or that energy within themselves, those people have realized that being this way or being in relationships with people like that makes them feel like they're missing an emotional opportunity. Some people could have presented the illusion, again, in the Queen of Pentacles, because the queens can talk about our emotional state. Some people present themselves as being a nurturing, grounded, people who can help invest in things and make them grow, because the King and Queen of Pentacles is the only suit of the deck that represents people who present themselves as being marriage material. Some people are listening to their intuition about people like that, and they're saying, if I get into a relationship with someone like that, I'm going to feel like I have missed an opportunity to work together with people from a foundation of love. It would just be an illusion. And some people like people to be in relationships with them. And it's all about creating an illusion. Let's create an illusion that we're emotionally nurturing people, and let's ignore and let's not make it about love, because the Four of Cups is Cancer energy. Let's create the illusion that it's about love. And some people, because they feel like they've missed emotional opportunities with people in their past and they haven't gotten over it, They could have, the moon can talk about fears. Because relationships didn't work out in the past, they could have fears about being in relationships with other people. They could be seeing, there could be people in their life who are nurturing and warm and giving, harnessing these energies in a high vibe way, who are loving, even though they've experienced unhappy emotional relationships in their past. They listen to their intuition to keep nurturing themselves and investing in themselves emotionally, learning lessons from past life relationships, listening to their intuition about people who aren't loving, people who present themselves as loving, but they might use their emotions manipulatively in a relationship. They might present themselves as being stable and emotionally, like, I see the Queen of Pentacles as Taurus energy, which would be someone who's dedicated and loyal and committed and all of that, willing to invest in a relationship and grow and mature themselves. People who've listened to their intuition and have grown their life from past life experiences where relationships didn't work out, those people are listening to their intuition. And if they know other people in their life that have, like we all have, right? We've all went through relationships that didn't work out before. If that's a friendship group, a work group, a romantic, a family thing, we've been left disappointed, most of us, at different times, dealing with different people in our life. Some people got so caught up in their fear and their insecurity, they decided, I'm just going to present myself as someone who's nurturing, but I'm going to ignore love. Some of them might not even get in relationships because they're just going to focus emotionally on either indulging in the world, because this Four of Cups looks like I'm ignoring love, but I'm going to indulge myself in the world, in the things of the world, and not make my life about love. Because they could have a lot of fears and insecurities of trusting and believing in people. We either let go of our past fears and insecurities that, because otherwise negative energy has a hold of us and has turned us into a negative person. And if we don't want to give up our dreams that we have because of negative people in our life who are unloving, unkind, created an illusion of being something they weren't, we put life in perspective, and it's like that person wasn't honest. They weren't truthful. They presented themselves to be something other than they were. Some people never got over that. Some people still have illusions about those people. I feel like I missed an opportunity with that person because they bought into the illusion. They could still view someone as being someone they want to be in a relationship with, but they're not maybe in a relationship with that person. Others of them, they do want to ignore love. They do want to make someone be a marriage partner. And they're hoping that person will live their life based on like pride and ego and fear and insecurity and get in a relationship with them, even when it's not based on love. And some of the people who are in shadowy energy, they're not seeing you high vibe people clearly. And they still might think that you want to be in a relationship with them, that you feel like you missed an opportunity with them. And you're like, no. I have learned life experiences from having been in a relationship with you. And I realized that if I was in a relationship with you anymore, I'd be missing an emotional opportunity. And I've listened to my intuition, and I've matured myself emotionally, and I've given myself all the things that I wish you had given me, so that I'm no longer attracted to people like you. Let's continue on. Tell us more about this story. And some people who have illusions about someone else being their partner, they have people in their life that they could be probably enjoying time, energy, and spending time with, but they have illusions about someone else. So they're ignoring love. If there's people in our life who aren't willing to put in work and effort with us, they've probably made their free will choice that they don't want to put work and effort into us. And some people still are like in denial of it. We have the Empress, the Temperance card, and the Nine of Swords because of this card that isn't showing itself. either what people are rejecting or what people aren't showing people. Ah, the people in shadowy energy aren't willing to walk away from things that they've invested in emotionally, even though it's unfulfilling. And there may be the Eight of Cups walks away from the Seven of Cups, and the Seven of Cups could be particularly, maybe some of them, it could be a Scorpio that they need to walk away from, or their own shadowy Scorpio nature, or just people in their life that they have illusions about. People they have illusions about, one day I'll get in a relationship with that person. No, I'm not going to move forward in my life because I still have this dream that one day they're going to be in a relationship with me. They don't want to walk away. And the people that are in shadowy energy are harnessing these energies in a more worldly way or a more shadowy way. Shadowy Empress energy can be someone who emotionally, harnessing shadowy Libra Taurus energy, either wants to make their life about money and materialism, and they think it's just and fair to align with this worldly way of thinking, and that's why they could feel like they missed an emotional opportunity with a Queen of Pentacles, someone who they think will either indulge them emotionally or someone who has money and they want to be in a relationship with that person. So it's kind of like not seeing relationships clearly. Some people have illusions about what a partner should be like in a relationship. Some of them think I can ignore love, and because maybe I have illusions about my own self-importance, I might think people would want to be a partner of mine, even though I'm unwilling to walk away from this illusionary view of relationships that I have, that I don't have to be loving and nurturing and kind and committed. Like, some people just maybe think they're all that. Maybe they are the one who has some money and materialism or status in the world. Because Empress energy can mean somebody who's surrounded by a lot of abundance. Well, what do we view as abundance? Some people think the only thing that's worth having around is money and materialism. Love? No. That doesn't interest me. They have illusions about being a Queen of Pentacles and a shadowy Empress energy, making their life all about money and materialism and status and image. And they're willing to ignore love and people, their own loving, intuitive nature they could align with to manifest those things into reality. Instead, they're like, no, I shouldn't have to put in work and effort. I shouldn't have to be vulnerable. I could get hurt doing that. I want to be surrounded by luxury in life. And they could be being patient and being in a mental prison with the Temperance card and the Nine of Swords, really up in their head about love or a new emotional beginning. If any of you dealt with someone who kind of lives in fantasy land or fear, because the moon can be fear too, you're listening to your intuition and someone is either focused on wanting to repeat patterns of the past, whatever kind of unhealthy kind of relationships they are, if it's them being unhealthy or other people being unhealthy, maybe people who are secretive, who hide their nurturing nature so they ignore love and make their life more about money and materialism. You're harnessing these energies in a high vibe way. And you've put in the work and effort to maintain your balance so that you don't get tipped into fear and insecurity. Because sometimes people ignore our love, trying to instill fear and insecurity and cloud our judgment so that we're not seeing them clearly and we'll still want to be in a relationship with them. Because it's human nature to be fearful about moving forward and leaving a job, leaving a relationship, leaving a friendship group. Our kind of natural inclination is not to want to have to face change. And we'd like people to work together with us. And sometimes people will purposely ignore our love, kind of indulge themselves being lazy emotionally, hoping that our own fear of believing in ourselves will keep us right here in a relationship with them. wanting to maintain the illusion. But people who are in high vibe put in the work and effort to get the justice they deserve. And those people have balanced out in the temperance energy their strong emotions about the fact that if they stay either thinking this way themselves or being in relationships with people who choose to be more manipulative or shallow or trying to manipulate and control people or materialistic, that they're going to feel trapped. Some people, this card here with the Four of Cups where the person is like watching TV and indulging them, some people did try to emotionally manipulate people because we either empower ourselves, at which point we wouldn't try to manipulate and control people, or to feel a sense of power. Some people do try to emotionally confuse and manipulate people, and they could think it's funny and it makes them feel powerful. Look what I did. I ignored their love. They're really confused because we're in a relationship or a marriage or we're working together and we're supposed to be just and fair and committed and loyal and treat other people like we like to be treated. It's like, I didn't do that. Look how confused they are. And it's like sitting back and watching the show. And some of you listened to your intuition, you nurtured yourself, you got balance within yourself, you balanced out your strong emotions, and Sagittarius and the Temperance card is about educating yourself, about looking at life as an adventure to be lived, and you're ready to fly and free yourself from this situation. And you might not be showing people, they might not know that you've walked away emotionally. They could still think they're running the show, that they're in charge, like, oh my gosh, I've been doing all this stuff, and they feel trapped and they don't know what to do. And it's like, when they find out that you've been doing all this work to distance yourself from them emotionally, to distance yourself from the illusion that you had about them, to distance yourself from people who harness shadowy Scorpio energy, people who can be emotionally shallow and intimidating, who think life is just about death, sex, and taxes, and they don't. They can be like a private investigator in a relationship. You've not been showing people that you've been doing this deep emotional work, and Eight of Cups is Pisces energy, about tapping into your dreams and your intuition of what can be and seeing life from a different perspective. And there could be some people who feel that they've missed an opportunity with you because you did put in the work to not be in your fear and insecurity. And you have balanced out your strong emotions about the situation, kind of not in your pride and ego about it. And it's going to end up, now the last card for the reading is Eight of Swords. You did the work to get out of the mental prison about your fears and insecurities and your pride, your ego, your competitive nature, your image, your status, whatever, a dream that you had. And the other people, why aren't people open and honest and truthful and loving and just and fair? Because they have fears and insecurities about love, about trusting other people, about even maybe believing in love or making their life about love. Because they might be people who'd always thought I was going to live a more worldly based life. I thought people were going to get in relationship with me more and stay in relationship with me because of ego and status and image. I never thought I was going to have to work through my fears and insecurities. I never thought I was going to have to put work and effort into a relationship where I had to be just and fair and treat other people like I like to be treated. That would be me emotionally investing in a relationship. And then I've got skin in the game and I could get hurt. So some people who ignore loving and believing in themselves could have illusions that other people are supposed to, that's their job. Other people are supposed to nurture and invest in them, kind of like they're a small child who's never learned how to self-soothe. Because shadowy Aries energy can be people who are kind of like, I'm the boss, I'm in control. It's all about me and my pride, my ego, my image, my status, my wants, my needs, my lusts, my greed, male or female. And some people have illusions, and again, maybe full of themselves, that they think I get to just indulge myself in a relationship emotionally. I don't have to put in work and effort. I just present the illusion of being someone who's like nurturing and stable and supportive and like a hard worker, but it's just an illusion. When I get in the relationship, I really don't put in work and effort. And some people who weren't willing to move forward with the loving, just, fair, loyal, committed people in their life could have thought, I'll go indulge myself with someone else that I have illusions about. But the person they could have had illusions about, thinking they'd never walk away, that they would maybe be like a mother figure to them, because Empress energy can kind of represent that, like indulge them. Someone who they maybe thought was going to indulge them balanced out their own emotions. And that person could realize, if I get in a relationship with this person, I'm going to be the next one in the gilded cage with them. And some of them might find someone who's willing to do that. You know, other people that also have fears and insecurities of believing in themselves, who aren't willing to walk away emotionally from living a life of illusion. I want to look like I'm this person's partner. I want to look like, I have the status or the image. So I will mother this person and just balance out my emotions, that I kind of feel a little trapped. But if they're afraid of walking away and facing their own fears and insecurities, they'll stay in a relationship where they're going to learn some lessons. Some of you have already been in that. You realized, if you were working together with someone in a relationship, a job, a friendship, or a partnership, that it was an illusion. The person wasn't who they said they were. And you decide to put in the work and effort to get the justice you deserve in your life. And it starts within you first, putting in the work and effort to get yourself balanced, to educate yourself. Why do I have these fears and insecurities? Why would I be tempted to stay in this relationship? What do I need to work on within myself? And then you do the work to work through your own fears and insecurities, because the Nine of Swords is being all up in your head about having a new emotional beginning. And I would say, the people in your life who thought they could manipulate you don't know that they haven't realized yet that you did walk away emotionally. And when they realize it, they could really be up in their head about it and feel trapped. Because when you're in a relationship and you have free will to be open and honest and loving, and you decide, I don't think I'm going to do that, let me do all these tactics to try to manipulate them to stay in a relationship with me. Basically, I want to trap them. And they're going to find out they're the one who's trapped. And as some of them weren't willing to move forward with you because they have illusions of either indulging in the world, or they had illusions about someone else thinking that person would be nurturing or loving and indulge them, they might have gotten in a relationship with someone who is very, shadowy, Empress, Libra, Taurus energy can be someone who lives more from their mind and their heart, is very materialistic and ego-focused, and just balances out their emotions about the fact that they live more from their mind than their heart. And they could have gotten in a relationship with someone who they thought would be loving and nurturing and committed and loyal like you were. Like, oh, you're a dime a dozen, I'll just go find another you. And they found out, no, the person they got in a relationship with is more like them. And how do they like being the person who's trapped? And now they have the choice to make. Am I going to listen to my intuition about these people I'm with, just like the people I tried to manipulate and control listened to their intuition and walked away from me to go believe in themselves? Am I going to stay in this because I'm still want that image and that status, and I'm willing to create an illusion with this person that I got myself involved with because I'm afraid of what people would say if I walked away? If I freed myself from my, learn the lessons I was meant to learn, basically, so that I could free myself from the cage I trapped myself in. Because that's what we do when we learn lessons in life, right? We think, oh, I think I can do that. And we go indulge ourselves, kind of being immature. We got lessons to learn. Are we willing to admit we had lessons to learn? Are we willing to be bold and brave and confident to say, I had lessons to learn? I was kind of immature. I was kind of indulgent. I kind of might have had a lot of fears and insecurities before driving my life. I might not have made the best choices. Are we willing to be bold and brave enough to admit that we had lessons to learn? Some people who aren't and want to keep maintaining a certain illusion about themselves, they don't want to maybe put in the emotional work it would take to move forward in their life. So let's get, and some people think if I focus or get in a relationship that has money and materialism, and if I can present a certain facade to the world, I'll look like my life is perfect or I'm perfect. But it's just trying to kind of put a Band-Aid on the situation without dealing with the problem. Tell us what's going to go on with the people who have some lessons learned in life and low vibe energy. They're going to feel like they missed an opportunity within themselves to let their heart and their intuition guide them to get the justice they deserve, to be a spiritual leader in the world. Because they probably rejected other people in their life that they could have been in a relationship, a workplace, a family, a commitment with people who were actually nurturing and just and fair and balanced. But they didn't do that because they were more focused on the relationships of the past that hadn't worked out than living in the present moment and being thankful and grateful for what is, and looking to the future with hope and faith. It's like, no, relationships haven't worked out in the past, or I still feel like I missed an opportunity with someone in my past. I'm not willing to move forward with you. Maybe they're people in their more shadowy Taurus energy, which can be all about money and materialism and status and image. So they ignore love. They don't connect in with themselves and make their life about listening to their intuition, connecting in with their emotions, living a creative, inspired life. It's like, nope, I got to do the status quo. Is that going to be good for my image and status? I have a certain reputation to maintain. I can't follow my heart. I can't be just and fair in the world. The world sometimes doesn't approve of that. We're not supposed to treat other people like we want to be treated. I have a certain position. I'm supposed to be the boss, or I'm supposed to, because shadowy Taurus can be people who are stubborn and prideful. People who got all caught up in these rules and regulations. Again, Taurus Hierophant energy is how we view relationships and marriages and the world, basically. Some people have illusions about maybe how other people are supposed to indulge them in a relationship. Like they are the person who has a title or a position, like as if they're more important than other people in the relationship. So they have a lesson to learn, and they will go through some life experiences where if they can either keep repeating this pattern where they get relationships with people and people feel like, well, I feel like you're ignoring my love. I don't feel like this is moving forward in a just and fair manner. I think you're being kind of stubborn and prideful. That's not my dream relationship. And those people are going to move on. Some people stubbornly like, nope, that's my idea of a relationship. I'm going to keep being stubborn. I'm going to keep ignoring love in the Four of Cups. I'm going to keep presenting myself as like a loving family person to the world, to other people who I think, um, I don't know, might be kind of balanced or just in a relationship. And then I'm going to indulge myself in it and kind of take advantage of them and ignore love. I'm just going to present myself as a loving family person, male or female, but I'm really not going to be. I think it's just unfair for me to be stubborn and prideful. I have all these rules and regulations in my head that isn't based on a foundation of love. It's based on image and status and history and the way my family did it or how I weirdly perceive the world. Tell us about the people in high vibe Aries energy. The world, the people in high vibe energy don't want to keep repeating patterns in life. They learn the lessons they were meant to learn from those life experiences to grow and mature themselves, and they move forward. It's like people in shadowy energy can be someone who perpetually stays like 8 or 15 or 18 or whatever age they get stuck at. And it's like, no, no, this is good. I have a certain amount of image and status here. Or I don't know, the way I think about myself is a certain way. And I don't think I have any more lessons to learn. I'm perfect. You know, and I cover up my insecurity by trying to present myself as perfect. And why would people cling to that so desperately? Maybe it would really completely destabilize their whole mental state if they were to see through their own delusions of self. High vibe people listen to their intuition. They learn lessons from past life experiences. They don't have illusions about people in their past who were unkind, unloving, selfish, greedy, manipulative. Those people learn to love themselves so they no longer keep being attracted to being in a relationship like that. Maybe some of the people who are in shadowy energy, they are really kind of in their pride and ego, and they could be determined to make those kind of people acknowledge their worth and value. Well, why would you fight so hard to make somebody who's already ignored your love, you know, try to make them validate your worth and value? If you validate your worth and value and balance out your strong emotions about feeling stuck, about the fact that some people in your past weren't loving or kind or nurturing, that's when you can let them go. They are where they're at. We all learn lessons in life. There's lessons they haven't learned. We can close out that chapter in our life. We'll no longer be attracted to people like that. It's like, been there, done that. Yeah, I don't need to fight that battle. You know, we want to be in a relationship with other people who've grown and matured themselves. You have closed out a chapter of being in regret and focusing on that relationship of the past that didn't work out. You're living in the present moment where you can be balanced in love within yourself and look to the future. And the other people haven't learned that lesson yet. So you let go of your insecurity to align with high vibe energy, which is love and hope and faith and compassion, to let the past go. To no longer be insecure because someone else in your past was unloving or unkind or unjust or unfair. Some people are still trying to get those people to validate their worth and value. I don't think those people are someone whose opinion I care about. If they're not a just, fair, open, honest, loving person, yeah, I don't think you have a foundation that I'm worried about you approving of me. I think I'll go live my own life. Let's do a random flip. We have October 4th. Life shrinks or expands in proportion to one's courage. Anais Nin, essayist and novelist. We either let our fear and our ego keep us small, or we look at life and the world around us and what can be from a new perspective. You know, sometimes I like to think about people who have amnesia and they wake up and they're a completely different person. You know, when we don't choose to align with the negative thoughts that we have or the self critical voice that we have or whatever, we look at life completely fresh and new. You know, it's like seeing the world through the eyes of your more innocent, childlike nature, and believe in all that can be, and the divine will help you manifest it into reality. So there you go, Aries energy of the world. I wish you peace, love, and joy, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.